So that first batch of auctions, that's about to unlock.
I decided to unstake part of my VDOT on Bifrost, and it took exactly 47 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
What's next?
There is one last thing, which is called Omni LSDAP.
The launch team wishes you good luck and Godspeed.
Space Monkeys blasting off with Christian, Tyrone, and Thomas from Bifrost Finance. They're the guys doing liquid staking, native on Kusama and Polkadot. We'll get to that soon. Guys, welcome to the show.
Yeah, welcome.
It's a pleasure.
Nice to hear. Tyrone, nice to have you over here as well. I don't think we've ever been at the same conference before.
Likewise, this is my first time to be Lisbon, actually.
Very nice.
Also my first time to be Sub-Zero. With my colleague this time. Also the first time we met together.
It's the first time we met, in real life.
First time.
Yeah, basically
Yes.
working together for
Finally.
almost 2 years.
Yeah.
We never met in person, actually.
This is how it is. All right. Well, who was at the team first? Was it you, Tyrone?
But
Yeah, this is the OG.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The real OG of Bifrost.
Yeah.
Then Thomas, and I'm the last one.
So I'm more or less and the head of ambassadors. So I'm dealing with a lot of community stuff, all the channels, dealing with the user, the issues with the users,
Yeah.
which is a big part.
Which are a lot.
Issues with the users. Yeah.
Issues with
Yes.
like in general, like when it comes to community, it's very difficult to manage it. Because like you have like question complaints all over, like on Discord and Telegram, Twitter. So he's doing a massive job actually.
Right. I guess the more popular you guys get, the more complaints you have, right?
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
part of the deal.
Yeah. Right. What about you, Christian? What are you doing?
I'm growth manager, so I'm taking care of like, for example, B2B and B2C partnership of Bifrost over Europe and actually America as well.
Yeah.
So both US and Latin America, because the company, as you know, is based in Asia. All the core devs are in Asia, so they needed some good-looking guy taking over Europe, and here I am.
This is what they could get.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's the best they
Nice.
can get. I'm so sorry for them. Really, that's it.
All good. Okay, so for people who may not be familiar, Tyrone, could you give us what's the recap of what Bifrost is trying to achieve here on Polkadot?
yeah, for sure. We actually definitely were powerchain on Kusama and both Polkadot. So we actually provide the services for liquid staking on Polkadot and Kusama both. And right now we are looking at how we can push the penetration of liquid staking in Polkadot and Kusama proof of staking. So how to do that is to deploy more of the lag plans on the multi-chain, on parachain and external blockchains outside of Polkadot and Kusama. So how to do is kind of like via the bridge hub and asset hub. So that's literally how to connect like a universal of liquid staking between Bifrost, Polkadot, Kusama, and Ethereum and external blockchains.
You guys have collected quite a lot of TVL so far. When you say your TVL, do you combine Polkadot and Kusama together? Or?
No,
Okay.
not combined. Definitely not combined.
What are the numbers at right now? What are you guys sitting at locked?
It's about 40 million.
14 million?
Yeah. It's around 40. Like if you want to combine all together, like Bifrost and Kusama, in total is about 40 million.
14
Yeah.
million.
40 million, of course, you have to consider that TVL is a very weird metrics because it's always related to the value of the token. So over the last year and a half, you can
Yeah.
see like if you check the amount of tokens staked with Bifrost, you can see like this kind of constant grow in token, but the TVL kind of like remains the same. Because in the meantime, the value of the token is crashing, So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
for
of
example,
course.
this is something that is gonna turn sooner or later.
Yeah.
Like the whole market, the whole crypto market, and when it happens, we will be ready.
Absolutely. So you were talking about VDOT minted there. You have another product for liquid crowd loans, right? Does that mint VDOT or does it mint another?
It-
So It's kind of a dot, but it's not V dot.
It's not V dot.
It's
Okay.
VS dot,
Yes. Yeah.
which is not a single asset. It's combined with VS bond.
Yeah.
It's a dual asset product. It's not like C dot or LC dot, like and parallel side. It's a double asset product. So one side is bearing the crowdloan specificity, which is the VS bond, and the other part is the VS token, which represents the asset itself. And this asset is fully fungible. So you can mix all together the VS token from any crowdloan into a single liquidity pool,
Yeah.
which is
Pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Compared to the other product like C dot, for instance, you have C dot from a given period, then C dot from another given period,
Yeah.
but you cannot mix both. So the liquidity is siloed. That's the main difference of the product. It's more complex for the users to understand how it works on our side. So sometimes the users can be a bit lost at the very beginning because this is more complex, more challenging to understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in the end, the main goal was to have a single liquidity pool for the VS dots.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Are you guys finding that crowdloan staking product winding down as crowdloans become less?
Yeah, definitely.
If you compare it to the first batch of crowdloan, where like, of course, it was also a different moment in the market cycle. No? It was like full bull run, everything was in all-time high,
Yeah.
and it was exactly the moment of like the first batch of the 5 crowdloans with Astar and the others.
Yeah, yeah.
So of course, like the amount of dot locked in each parachain, it was like massive. Right now, you can like still get a spot as a Polkadot parachain for like a bit more than 20, 30, 40,000 dot. We are still offering like the crowdloan support. So lately, we, for example, supported Energy Web
I was going to ask. Yeah.
crowdloan,
Nice.
Sora crowdloan as
It
well.
was a quick one,
It was.
but I think our
It
delegator
was
address.
24 hours maybe.
Yeah, our
Even.
delegator address was the first biggest contributor in the crowdloan.
Wow.
We were ready at the very first minute, so yeah, it was quite good for us in the end. In this one, for this one.
So that first batch of auctions, that's about to unlock in a few weeks. What's the date? October 21st?
Four.
24th.
24.
Yes.
Okay. So you guys seeing this as an opportunity, all this free dot floating around in the market? What are your
Well,
plans here?
Well, if you think about it, there is like this amount of dot that is going to be unlocked, and you have like basically 2 options with this dot.
Okay.
Consider always what I said before. These dots were like minted to this parachain when they were in all-time high,
Yeah.
which means like $54, $55 per each dot. So I think that the value of a single dot is around $4. So the 2 options are like you either sell it with I don't know 90%,
Massive loss,
95% of the loss, or you can stake it.
Yeah.
And if you want to stake it, you could basically have like 2 options which are like basically the same, which is like on-chain staking or liquid staking. One things that is not super clear to everyone, and I wanted just to briefly point it out, is that liquid staking tokens on Bifrost doesn't mean that you like give your token to Bifrost that gives you like a voucher token, and Bifrost does whatever it wants with your token. You are still staking token on chain.
Yeah.
Bifrost allocates those tokens to dot validators. So these are like completely decentralized, permissionless staking on chain. You just do it through Bifrost in order to unlock immediately the liquidity that otherwise would be locked for at least 4 weeks on Polkadot. No? And with the voucher token, which is the V token, for example, V dot, or we have also VKSM, the Glimmer. We announce V Astar. You can do whatever you want. You can use it on a different parachain. Lately, we implemented like V dot on Hydra DX Omnipool.
Yeah, absolutely.
We just closed a collab with Interlay to have V dot available as a collateral on their vault.
Big one.
I mean, we are trying to offer user a different variety of use cases, I would say. So according to their level of risk, to their also to their skill set within the DeFi, they have different opportunities with this VDOT, while they are taking rewards for the dot stake it, which I believe is massive opportunity for everyone. So
I think I saw on your site you guys are claiming a yield of like 23, 24% on DOT.
Yeah.
So where does that all come from? Because the native staking is what, 13% or something like that right now, right?
Yep.
After
if you look at Polkadot.js, you see like 13%, but it's 13% APR. On Bifrost, we display APY.
Okay.
This is one of the difference.
But still, that doesn't get you to 20, right?
And the other difference is that the first number that you can see on our DApp, it's a combined APY. It's a base staking APY, which is lower. It's around 17,
18,
yes, percent APY.
Yeah.
Plus a small part which is coming from the farming, liquidity LP farming.
You guys are providing BNC rewards?
Yes.
Okay.
This is incentivized with BNC rewards.
Understood.
So this is not magic. I mean, the APY is not coming from nowhere, of course. So part of it comes from the BNC incentives if the user's deposit is VDOT, let's say, in the liquidity pool. This is not mandatory, of course.
Yes, I understand. Okay.
So if you just hold the VDOT, you will get only the base reward, which is like 17% APY.
18%, yeah.
But usually we are using like an homemade algorithm to select the best validators on Polkadot based on a score. Maybe Tyrone will detail it a bit.
I want to, yeah.
And by selecting the best validator, usually on average we are doing a little bit better than the on-chain classics dot staking, a little bit better.
Got it.
Yeah. So maybe Tyrone can detail a little bit how the scoring it works.
Yeah, so this is a custom in-house selection or nomination process that you guys built?
Yeah, it is running by a script, and the script have some parameters to decide, not to decide, just to monitor if there is any historical behavior that a validator did for malicious behavior maybe, so the score will definitely score down. And also, the performance of the validator is quite important to be scored in the situation. Besides this, we also select the validators from the governance, also from the idea of the community. So maybe I know lots of people, they are actually running the validator themselves, but what's the chances for them to being involved in the liquid staking is that they can actually propose, okay, I have a validator, but what is the performance of my validator and what benefits that can bring to Bifrost community if I being a validator on Bifrost in the liquid staking. So they can actually propose and clarify on this in the community and let the user of Bifrost know about it, and we'll vote on this via the governance process. So they can be added into the liquid staking validator list, which is the governance process to add validator beside automatic
So we can
process.
give a bonus to,
I see.
let's say, community validators.
Yeah.
They can come to our governance, say, okay, I'm gonna propose you a win-win situation for my validator and for Bifrost.
Yeah.
I will bring, I don't know, I will do some AMA, I will push your future product on Twitter, I will offer some liquidity in the pools, and if the community agrees with the proposal, then the validator is included in the VBL, which is validator boost lists, and Bifrost will delegate some DOT to this specific validator.
Okay,
Yes.
I've seen this in your governance. I've seen this.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes. So currently, I think we have Lucky Friday,
Yeah. Right.
which has a proposal to be part of the VBL list.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, the Kus is spinning up some validators.
Yeah. Okay.
Could we come and maybe speak to the Bifrost community?
Of course.
We should.
We should.
Maybe we could work something out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Maybe we'll do a good cut of this interview. Yeah, nice. Sounds good. Well, let's talk about let's talk about voting for a second, because I think one of the disadvantages to doing the liquid staking right now is that dot is taken out of voting. That voting power is taken out.
Yeah, you lose your gov rights. I think that's the last major barrier we have.
Is there a
the
path?
users.
Is there a path to rectify this?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
on the technically, when you're doing the liquid staking, all the dots of users is unlocking in the parachain account of Bifrost stolen account on Polkadot. So, which means no way of user control is still doing the voting on the open governance before. So right now is that we added a function in the SLP pallet, the liquid staking pallet, so which can remotely control the parachain account via the XCM to call a delegation voting for users. So the underlyingly the parachain account which has multiply of users stored inside of this, so users can also call the account for delegating voting to the relay. So that's why we can achieve a remotely voting from Bifrost interface. You don't have to go to the relay to operate, the Polkadot.js.
For assembly or
Yeah.
Subsquare, okay.
Yeah,
You'll be able to vote directly from the Bifrost app.
yeah.
For
So
instance.
if I liquid stake like 200 dots, like do I retain that 200 voting power, or does it go to Bifrost?
No,
No.
not to Bifrost, for sure.
Users still have the governance rights,
Yeah.
but you can control it on Bifrost interface, Bifrost app. Yeah.
Interesting.
We're testing it right currently, yes, it's under testing.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
How's Bifrost governance going for you guys? I mean, you have a lot of people using the product, but I think not a lot of BNC actually happening in your governance yet.
Yeah.
Well, where are you on the path there?
We also, this is the same for lots of our users, of course, are using the liquid staking for BNC, so
So that takes it out too.
yeah, exactly, not the same.
Right.
So we
right.
have the same issue for our own governance in the end. Yes, that's
Understood.
part of
That
the
makes
issue.
perfect sense. Perfect
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, that's part of the issue.
That's why we are like kind of incentivized to find a solution as soon as possible.
Yes.
Because consider that the amount of BNC in staking right now, liquid staked on Bifrost, are like more than 6 million, which is a good portion of the circulating supply of BNC actually.
Right.
So having the power, like having the possibility to retain your voting power instead of like losing if you do it, like if you decide to liquid stake your token, it's really one of our main concern at the moment.
Of course.
And something we are working on to release, as Tyron mentioned before, like this opportunity in the next few, if not weeks, months.
Well, it seems like especially urgent because you guys are releasing a new pallet, right? That any parachain can implement in their runtime and, correct me if I'm wrong, but more easily create voucher tokens from
Absolutely.
their native token, right?
Yeah.
So what's going on?
Yeah, the issue that is not an issue, but one of the complaints that we got at the moment to actually liquid stake token on Bifrost is that user to liquid stake their token, they have to go through different passages. They're not difficult, but they are just simply a lot of passages. You have to basically
It can
go
be
to
difficult for newbies or people that are not aware of how the substrate things is working with XCM transfer and so on. If the people they come from Ethereum, it's pretty simple in Ethereum because you basically just have one token to deal with, which is ETH. But on the different parachains, you have many tokens. So even just to deal with the fees to pay from the transactions, it can be a nightmare for the basic user. So that's why.
Yeah, so one of the threshold that we wanted to lower for the user adoption is like to make all these passages, which is like go to the Bifrost app, cross in your token, mint the V token, cross out your token, put it back on your wallet, use it on the DApp you want to use it. I mean, it's a lot of things. you can do now. We are kind of like launching this new pallet, which is called SLPx pallet, where SLP is like the actual Bifrost pallet staking liquidity protocol pallet. The SLPx pallet allows you to actually mint the token directly from the target chain. So let's say that you are on Moonbeam, on Astar. I'm saying Moonbeam and Astar because the Glimmer is already an asset on Bifrost. The Astar will be very soon an asset on Bifrost. So cannot say anything. But if you are like directly on this chain or even on DApp built on top of this parachain, you can immediately mint your V token through the DApp, through this SLPx pallet with a click of a button from the target chain. There is this pallet that interacts directly with Bifrost. Bifrost is going to mint the V token for you and send it back to the target parachain in order to lower the amount of like process you need to do, like the amount of step that you need to take to get your V token.
Makes perfect sense, yeah.
Yeah, and actually this also allows us to, expand the number of use cases for the asset, the tokens, because it can be easily implemented with any kind of, for example, DApp built on top of Moonbeam, DApp built on top of Astar, other parachain. So it's something big.
Especially, it has an opportunity to get liquid staking into Ethereum ecosystem, because let's think about if you are an Ethereum user, but how you can interact with liquid staking of Polkadot, right? Maybe you don't have the requirement right now, but let's say there is dot staking on Ethereum, but just users just looking at it as a normal DeFi option for you. It's just your leveraging option for you. Why you don't jump into maybe this 23 APY, right? They just don't jump into it with the liquid staking, right? There's no reason for users don't choose it. So on a more high level, it's kind of like the cross-chain liquid staking makes it possible to convert the Ethereum liquidity to dot staking. So I mean, it is maybe the general logic of how to bring outside liquidity to being converted to dot staking on Polkadot.
Are you talking specifically in a case where it'd be like Moonbeam or parachain with a close relationship with Ethereum, or are you speaking? Or do you think that this could somehow be deployed on Ethereum itself?
Yes.
On Ethereum it's safe.
How?
Yes.
On Moonbeam, A-Star, and Ethereum, it's kind of like the same thing, because on technical level, we just deploy a light client contract on them.
Yeah.
So they are both, three of them, they are all EVM compatible, so we can just deploy the same contract right there. And the contract itself, they don't have the authority to mint the token. They don't have authority to issue the token right there. But they can call Bifrost parachain via the XEM and the bridge hub. So Bifrost have the authority to mint the V token and transfer them back to the source chain. So they achieve how the user can one click on the source chain to achieve V token minting on the source chain. So that's why.
Interesting. So how do you pass messages with Ethereum though? In that case,
No bridge.
we're waiting for. Oh, okay, all right.
And how do we pass also liquid staked asset between Polkadot and Kusama? Official Polkadot Kusama bridge. So yeah.
It's all gonna come alive.
Yes.
Yes, 2024, baby.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. No, it's exciting stuff. That's cool. So yeah, this is kind of going to bring me to my next question though. Liquid staking is huge, right? I mean, we have the Lido situation in Ethereum, for instance. I think they're challenging the security of Ethereum almost with how much capital they have under their control.
Yes.
What made you guys decide to not only start in Polkadot but stick around Polkadot for this long?
I think that like achieving what Lido achieved on Ethereum is not simple, because especially like on Ethereum, you have a lot of competition.
Yeah.
For example, Lido has Rocket Pool and Nonetheless, they managed to kind of like get the major part of ETH out there. And they are simply doing that because apparently on Ethereum, they are like the most reliable, the most secure, the most like convenient protocol like to do that. For us, we would like to be. I had a comment yesterday of a guy. I was talking with him and I was explaining to him what do we do on a daily basis, what do we do on Polkadot, and he was like, so basically you are the Lido of Polkadot, which makes me think that it would be. I took it as a compliment, first of all, and it made me think that it's in a certain way this is true. Like I mean, we are trying to offer a set of assets which are like these V tokens that can be massively and extensively used on the Polkadot and Kusama ecosystem. We think that there is a need of like this kind of assets because
Sure.
you know, like Polkadot, it's if you look at the number of dots staked on chain compared to the amount of circulating dots, the percentage is quite high. So I think that there is this kind of like volunteers from user to actually stake dot. But why do they have to lock their liquidity for 4 weeks just to provide security to the chain, and not like stake their dot and in the meantime do something with that, like have an option, have the chance to achieve something else, which is like through DeFi. I mean, options are endless, and I believe that we do offer a series of, let's say, advantages that is not just the mere APY. I mean, APY is just a number. Just the simple fact that, for example, with Bifrost, you can have a flexible redemption period. I did a trial because I want to show people this feature here at Sub-Zero. Yesterday we had a booth. And I decided to unstake part of my V dot on Bifrost. If you want to unstake your dot on chain, they take 28 days.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, a fixed rule of Polkadot. I did it on Bifrost and it took exactly 47 hours and 20 minutes. So less than 2 days to get back my dot. And those dots were staked on chain. This is possible because Bifrost implemented a sort of a queue system.
Okay.
So as soon as, like, for example, I want to unstake my dot, but you want to stake your dot, this kind of like system matches our like needs.
So cool.
So it's like unlock my dot earlier than expected.
So cool.
And for you, it doesn't affect anything because you are still like staking your dot. So your stake is immediate. But my unstake is way faster than it's supposed to be.
Do you sacrifice any of the capital for that quick unstake? Like, do you get less dot back, or you get the full
absolutely
amount?
not. You can on
That's
Bifrost.
full redemption.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
a full
something
redemption.
else.
On Bifrost, you can have this instant swap if you really want your dot right now,
Yeah.
but you have to pay as like a small fee. It's
Yeah.
not big. Actually, I think it's less than 5%. It's around.
You pay the market price, so it's a swap. So it's a swap in a liquidity pool.
Yeah, I remember that.
So usually
Swapping.
the rate is not in favor of the guy who wants to swap.
Get out. Yeah.
So it can be seen as kind of penalty, but it's market price. So usually, if you want your full staking rewards, you just initiate a redemption request.
Yeah.
And if you want to get instant back your dots, just you swap, but you know that you will lose a little bit of the rewards, of course,
Yeah.
due
Okay.
to the market price.
If you want to do like the full unstake, like, and do not lose anything, it's possible to have it like in, actually, I can tell you 2 days, less than 2 days, and I
So
just
cool.
did it. And people yesterday, like during the booth, they were kind of like impressed by the fact that it was like real, no? And worst case scenario, let's say that no one wants to liquid stake dot over that like month, you still have your dot after 28 days.
Sure.
But I can tell you that on a good day, you can have your dot in 24 hours. Max people have waited, it's like 2 weeks.
Still.
Yeah, I think like 2 days ago. Also, the fact for for the instant redemption, as we told, we are using users are doing a swap. And we just released on the Kusama side, we just released a new stable swap pallet, which will increase the efficiency for the users when they are doing this type of swap. So they will, So currently, I think it's 100 times more efficient than before. So for the users, it's also better now. We will soon release it on Polkadot, but now it's only available on the Kusama side.
It is not literally a peg stable curve. It is not a stable curve like what curves teams do.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it is related price of liquid staking token stable curve. So it's kind of like, because that V token is increasing the price, appreciating the price with time. So it's time by time that the price increasing in the value increasing in the V token itself.
Sure.
The liquid with the staking reward. So
Gotcha.
yeah, we need a dedicated AMM for
that.
for that. Yeah.
Have you guys ever had a slash occur on the validator side? Ever experienced a slash?
Experience.
It happened. We made an article. I think it was last year. You know, there was this big incident on Kusama
Yeah, I
where
remember.
all the validators got slashed.
Yeah.
So it was, for us, it was a good example of the efficiency of the VKSM, because we have you have a slash insurance. So the moment it arrives, you can see on the curve that instead of increasing on a daily basis, you can see the VKSM was flat during the incident. But once the incident was solved, you could see on the curve that let's say the 2 or 3 days when there was no staking rewards, at the end of these days when the incident was solved, all the rewards, they were released again
Yeah.
in the price of VKSM. So in the end, the users, they didn't lose anything.
But that's because in this case, the slash was reversed.
Also, yes,
What happens when a slash isn't reversed?
we have a slash insurance.
And where does that come from? Does that come from BNC?
From BNC, yes.
Interesting.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right. We can only go so far with that.
That's part of the deal.
yeah, that's part of the risks, right?
Yeah.
It's also part of BNC, and the other part is actually the commission free that we're taking from the staking. It's
right.
about
Yes,
Right.
it's used
I
also
mean,
for
it's
that.
the protocol fee in the treasury.
Sure.
Yeah.
So part of the commission is used for the slash insurance.
Understood.
Yeah.
All right, cool. What's coming up next? You guys just released that stable swap.
Yeah.
You have the pallet coming up,
Yeah.
unlocking governance abilities.
Yeah.
What's next?
There is one last thing that is strictly connected to the SLPx pallet. That
Yes.
is like our the new version of our DApp, because as long as we are releasing a pallet which allows user to use more efficiently, and like the Bifrost DApp, we thought it was like time to improve also the DApp. So we are kind of releasing this new DApp, which is called Omni LS DApp. In the name, it already says like our will to go omni-chain, no? So like to have this kind of omni-comprehensive effort in order to develop and include liquid stacking for all of these assets on Polkadot, Kusama, and other chains as well.
Very good.
But this new DApp,
Yeah.
it will not be branded as Bifrost. You won't see a big Bifrost name on the DApp,
Okay.
because you will just see that it's powered by Bifrost, let's say, under the hood.
Okay.
But because with this SLPx pet and this new DApp, what we are looking for, let's say, in the end, is that we are looking for chain abstraction, because in the end, we want the user doesn't need to know that behind the scene, this is a Bifrost parachain. You know, it's like when you're using your credit card, you don't really know how it works, you just know it works. So here it's the same. You go on the DApp, I just want to liquid stake my tokens. Okay, I use this DApp, but I don't know which is behind the scene. So for the user, you just liquid stake, you get your token, and you're good.
Fantastic. Right, without the distraction of a whole other brand, right? Okay, I want to liquid stake a bunch of Polkadot tokens and maybe some Ethereum tokens all in one spot is what kind of the
Exactly.
idea here, right?
Yeah, that's the idea.
Sweet.
One spot.
Yeah.
As I told you before, like you don't even need to know that you are staking when the SLPx contract interact with Bifrost, mint the token and give it back to you.
Yeah.
You don't even have to know that you're interacting with Bifrost to do that. You know that you are getting a V token. Of course, like you maybe know that V token is an asset of Bifrost, makes totally sense. But it's not like, it's not our website. It's the only LSDApp. So for liquid staking, as you mentioned before, like Polkadot liquid staking passed through Bifrost, that's our goal. That's our ultimate goal. And the way we want to reach this goal is through this DApp.
Sweet.
It's going to be a busy October.
Well, great. You guys always seem to be busy, always improving the experience and the opportunities for stakers as well. I'm really especially excited about, our new Kusamarian deal, our new Kusamarian validator in your set there. And
apply for the VBL.
We'll apply for the VBL.
Yeah.
And getting governance going as well is going to be a huge piece. So, yeah, it's only up from here. Guys, thanks very much for coming on the show. It's awesome.
Thanks
It was
for
a
you.
pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you so
pleasure.
much.
Cool.
Always.
Thank you so much.
Ciao.